My sister mocked me in the family chat as an unemployed gamer, then came begging for free help. I said no. Weeks later, the bar suspended her license. My sister Alicia, 29, made a meme about me, her 31-year-old brother, implying that freelancing as a coder meant being nothing more than an unemployed gamer. She posted it in the family chat. Everyone laughed. Nobody defended me. I left the group quietly. No response. Fast forward a few weeks. Guess who needed me when something serious happened? Suddenly, my skills mattered. What started as her trying to use me turned into a legal mess, attorneys included, and some well-timed karma that required no effort on my part. You'll like this one. It gets messy. Have you ever looked at your phone and knew it was about to annoy you? That was me last Tuesday. I work as a freelance software engineer. While eating leftover Chinese food and fixing a broken contact form for a client's outdated site, I got a notification from the family group chat. For context, that chat was chaos. Mom sends me good morning gifts daily. Dad shares recycled motivational quotes. Alicia constantly posts updates on her wins, almost like press releases. Aunt Morwin sends Minions jokes. Half the time I muted it. But this time was different. It was a meme, a scruffy figure in a hoodie with Cheeto dust on the keyboard, surrounded by empty cans. The caption read, "Freelance coding equals unemployed gamer." My name was tagged twice. Alicia added, "Had to share." "You doing okay there?" Mom dropped a laughing emoji. Dad wrote, "So true, haha." My cousin Narissa posted a Kevin Hart laughing gif. Nobody defended me. I didn't reply. I simply tapped leave chat. No dramatic farewell. No, you'll regret this. Just gone. Not because I was furious, though I was annoyed. I just didn't want to waste time with people who still think working in a law firm equals success. While starting your own business means you're one step away from gaming for rent money. Alicia has always been the golden child. Straight A's, honor society, law school. The family threw her a graduation week, cake, photo shoot, everything. When I got certified in front-end development and landed my first client, Dad dismissed it as a phase. Mom asked if I was still doing that computer thing. Alicia joked I should write digital handyman on my card. So no, I didn't leave because I was hurt. I left because I wasn't going to sit through a roast session I never signed up for. It wasn't ego. It was self-respect. I was that kid who built his own PC at 13 while others played sports or took lessons. I liked solving problems on my own. The family called me antisocial. At 10, Alicia was staging fake trials with stuffed animals as jurors, and they adored it. She was the tiny lawyer. When I fixed Wi-Fi or reset an email password, I was just the tech kid. By 20, I stopped trying to impress them. I freelanced, built a client base, and worked quietly. I didn't flaunt. I believed results would speak for themselves. Clearly, not loudly enough to compete with Alicia's bragging about exams and followers. So that meme was the moment I realized they weren't misunderstanding me. They truly saw me as the weaker sibling, the joke. I left. No speech, no anger texts, just done. Later that night, I thought about it. Not the meme itself, but how casual it was for them. They praised Alicia for everything. Even things I secretly fixed for her. Once, during her company's live conference, their internal portal broke. She panicked. I fixed the code instantly. She later claimed on a team call that she solved it herself. I let it go. So no, I wasn't bitter. I was simply done being the family's tech mascot. I saved the meme, not for revenge, but as proof, a reminder of where I stand. I went back to work, 3 client tickets waiting. A custom widget request, a broken WordPress fix, all paid. My day stayed productive, quiet, and meme-free. And that meme, honestly, the best thing they could have done. It showed me exactly where I stood. They can pretend all they want with polished family photos and online posts. I'm not chasing their approval. My invoices speak louder. So, imagine my reaction when Alicia texted me 5 days later. No hello, no humility, just panic. I need your help. It's urgent. Someone hacked my files. Something important might leak. I laughed out loud, alone. The same person who once mocked me as the basement IT guy at Thanksgiving, now begging for help. I ignored it, took a screenshot, went back to testing a payment gateway. Next morning, I'm serious. These files are confidential. I could get in trouble. Please check them. 2. Then another. I'm not asking you to fix everything. Just look. You're not even working a real job anyway. That last line did it. I replied, if you want professional help, you'll pay my professional rate. Direct, respectful, no sarcasm. She hated it. Wow, you'd charge your own sister? You'd let me get in trouble over a joke? Yes, that harmless joke. I said, I'm not letting you get in trouble. You are. Then muted her. 3 hours later, Mom called with her serious tone. Your sister's in a difficult spot. Can't you just help her? I replied, she said I don't have a real job, remember? This unemployed gamer's busy at his keyboard. Don't be petty, Mom said. I wasn't. I was respecting my time. She tried the guilt card. She's your sister. And I'm your son, I said. Funny how that only matters when Alicia needs something. That's the problem. They want your skills without valuing your work. To them, family love equals free labor. Turns out, she had already gone to 2 real tech guys in her firm's network. One quoted $1,200. The other, $500 just to open files. No handouts. So she circled back to me, thinking family meant free service. Later, I learned the truth. Her files weren't just work documents. They contained explicit conversations, photos, and proof of an affair with a client. Names, timestamps, work email, everything. By lunchtime, it spread across legal circles, alumni groups, even gossip forums. This wasn't embarrassment. It was career-ending, potential disbarment. Her firm started investigating. And then came her only message to me. What did you do? No apology, just blame. I didn't reply. I had done nothing. Her husband quietly erased her from his social media. Friends reached out asking if she was trending. By evening, her career and reputation were in shambles. Meanwhile, I kept working. New clients came in. A local business recommended me to others. One said, "You're the guy who doesn't mess around." That one line meant more than any family praise. The family chat stayed silent. No apologies, no follow-ups. At midnight, Alicia messaged again. "You're enjoying this, aren't you?" I didn't answer. I archived the chat. Not out of joy, not celebration, just clarity. Because for years, they mocked me but ran to me when things mattered. And now I had proof. I saved every message in a folder labeled "In Case of Blame Game," because sooner or later, I knew they'd try. If I've learned one thing about people like her, it's that they don't accept defeat quietly. They need someone else to pull down with them. But this time, I wasn't close to the fallout. I had spent years being the emotional backup for everyone in that family. The same guy they criticized on Monday, but turned to for help on Tuesday. Not anymore. Now, I was simply the man watching the fire from a safe distance, equipped with receipts, backups, and a folder labeled, "Not my problem." Meanwhile, Alicia was in free fall. First, the law firm. The moment those screenshots hit their inbox, they shifted into full damage control. Internally, it was called misconduct concerns. Externally, nothing. No press release, no spin, just her name quietly erased from the firm's website, as if she had never worked there. Next came the clients. I recognized one. He'd been to those "look who I represent" dinners my parents like to brag about. A man with multiple properties who had hired her for contract work. As soon as the news spread, he pulled his files and hired someone else. No goodbye call, just an online review. Unreliable. Would not recommend. Then came the personal collapse. Her husband went cold. He changed the locks, took the car, and, according to a local friend, even gave away her Peloton for free on Craigslist. And just when I thought the worst had passed, I heard a knock at my door. It was my parents. I live in a small apartment about 15 minutes from their place. They don't usually visit unless they need something or have run out of people willing to tolerate them. The moment I opened the door and saw them standing there with those forced smiles, I knew it wasn't a casual visit. "Can we talk?" my mom asked. I stepped aside. "Sure, shoes off." They sat stiffly like people reporting to a parole officer. My dad cleared his throat, ready to make a presentation. "Your sister's having a rough time," he began. I nodded. "Yeah, seems she's been rough on people too." Mom frowned. "Please don't." I reminded them of the years when she said I'd be nothing, when they called freelancing unemployment, and mocked me for building cheap websites. They shifted uncomfortably, neither one meeting my eyes. "We're not here to relive old arguments," Dad said in his usual flat tone. "We're here to ask for your help." I raised a brow. The same help she refused to pay for? Silence. "She's under investigation," Mom admitted. "The Bar Association might get involved. She could lose her license." "She leaked her own texts," I said. "All I did was say no." "She claims you manipulated them," Dad countered. I laughed, loudly, the kind that makes others uneasy. "Then she should sue me." "Oh wait, she probably will." "She's scared," Mom insisted. "She should have been scared before she hit send." Then the real reason for their visit came out. When guilt didn't work, they turned to their favorite tactic, responsibility. "We just need you to sign something," Dad said, handing me a letter. It was already signed by Alicia. A statement claiming the screenshots were forged, possibly by a family member with access to her cloud. They wanted me to add my signature. "You're asking me to admit on paper that I faked evidence to ruin my sister's career?" I asked. Dad nodded, casual as if he were passing me a grocery list. "It's just to calm things down. No one will check." Mom folded her arms. "You don't even have a reputation to lose. She does. Be reasonable." "So you're saying my life is disposable because I work from a laptop, but hers matters because she's a lawyer?" Dad tried again. "We're not asking you to lie. We're asking you to support your sister." I shook my head. "You want me to burn myself to keep her warm?" "You always twist things," Mom snapped. "This is why no one takes you seriously. You act like the world owes you something just because you didn't get enough attention as a—" I stood. You can take the letter and leave. Dad frowned. You're being emotional. No, I said. I'm being done. Mom grabbed her purse. I hope you're happy when she loses everything. She lost it the moment she treated me like trash and expected me to clean it up. They left stiffly, muttering. Just before the door closed, Dad muttered, You've always had a chip on your shoulder. I opened the door again. Yeah, and it's gotten me further than your approval ever did. That night, I got a text from Alicia. You always wanted to watch me fall. You finally got your wish. I didn't reply. Instead, I opened an email from a new client, a property manager who needed back-end help with a housing site. He found me through a referral. Heard you're the guy who gets things done without the drama. I took the deal. The next morning, I received a LinkedIn message from her former law school roommate. Hey, don't know if you've heard, but Alicia's been suspended. She's blaming you. I had expected it. The scapegoat move. She didn't just fall. She needed to drag someone down. And since I had said no, I became her target. Later that day, another email arrived. A company she had applied to reached out. Their hiring manager had followed the situation online. Would you consult with us instead? We'd prefer someone reliable. I agreed. They were professional, straightforward, and uninterested in drama. Over Zoom, they said, We saw your work samples and reviews. You're clearly the right person. That was it. Respect without games. Meanwhile, Alicia was in damage control mode. 3 days later, a legal notice arrived in my mailbox. Cease and desist. Intent to sue. I nearly spilled my coffee laughing. It was a sloppy PDF on firm letterhead, filled with generic legal jargon and still carrying Microsoft Word formatting lines, like she had rushed it out. She was suing me for defamation, emotional distress, and malicious sabotage. The damages listed? $120,000. I forwarded it to my attorney, Bramwell, a sharp guy I've worked with for years. Built like a bouncer, talks like a barista. He read it and sent me a short voice memo. Bro, we're going to eat her alive. We filed a response, rejected everything, and attached a folder of evidence. Her asking for help, refusing to pay, admitting urgency, my refusal, and later accusing me. We also provided metadata proving I never touched her files. Her cloud folder was shared with 3 people, none of them me. But one of them? Her affair partner. His personal Gmail address was right there. That alone dismantled her case. 2 weeks later, we were in court. Alicia sat beside a junior associate who looked like he took cases between delivery shifts. She looked exhausted, dark circles, no spark left. Her lawyer began with a dramatic story about jealousy, access, and betrayal, as if he were reading from a TV script. Then Bramwell stood. No manipulation occurred. The plaintiff stored compromising content in an unprotected shared folder. She asked my client for help, refused payment, and blamed him when it leaked. Here's proof. Emails, metadata, logs, and IP addresses. None belong to him, but they do belong to her affair partner. Alicia went pale. Her lawyer tried to pivot, claiming I might have directed someone else. The judge asked, "Do you have proof?" He admitted he didn't. The judge told him to move on. When Alicia finally spoke, it sounded rehearsed, a weak speech about betrayal and family. The judge leaned forward. This isn't a case. It's a personal vendetta disguised as a complaint. Courts don't exist for this. Case dismissed with prejudice. It was over. I didn't gloat. I simply nodded to Bramwell and left. That night, I posted a photo on my business page, holding a coffee cup, middle finger taped down. Caption: Unemployed gamer, lawsuit survivor, schedule full, book early. Petty? Maybe, but it was earned. Messages poured in. Tell us the story. Hire this man before he's booked out. Even a former professor chimed in. You're building while they're blaming. Meanwhile, Alicia posted a vague black and white quote online. Sometimes those closest to you cut the deepest. 4 likes. Mom later called. You embarrassed her in public. Was it worth it? She sued me, I replied. I showed up with the truth. Business grew. More referrals came in. Bramwell even brought me onto a new contract. Small, but steady clients who valued reliability. Alicia faded. Her suspension became permanent, quietly, without fanfare. Firms erased her name. Alumni networks removed her. Whisper networks spread the story quietly but effectively, closing every door. She tried pivoting to consulting, to coaching. Nothing stuck. Eventually, even her social circle fell silent. No tags, no posts, no praise, just absence. The lawsuit she filed didn't just get dismissed, it followed her. Every recruiter saw it as desperate and personal. She never reached out again. Neither did my parents, and I didn't need them to. When people ask what happened between us, I keep it simple. She bet everything on being better than me. I just kept building.